What really happened to the Swat Serena Hotel? A decade of disputes ends an era. The recent announcement that the iconic Swat Serena Hotel will cease operations sent ripples through Pakistan's tourism community, marking the end of a nearly 40 years chapter in the Swat Valley. However, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has now stepped forward with a detailed clarification, framing the closure not as a sudden shutdown but as the final step in a long expired lease and a lawful takeover process that spanned over a decade. The story begins in 1985 when the provincial government leased roughly 44.6 canals of prime land to tourism promotion services, the operators of the Serena chain, for a period of 30 years. The annual rent was set at a modest 500,000, reflective of the rules and economic conditions of that time. This agreement formally expired on June 30, 2015, while the hotel management sought an extension. The crux of the ensuing decade-long deadlock was a vast disagreement over what the new fair market rent should be. An assessment in 2014 had already pegged the annual value of Rs 8.86 million, a significant jump from the original $500,000. What followed was prolonged litigation with both parties locked in a dispute over the property's worth. The matter eventually reached the provincial cabinet, which in 2021 approved a retrospective extension, but with a critical condition: the rent had to be reassessed on fair market principles. This led to fresh valuations that climbed sharply, Rs 13.27 million per year in 2022. And then a staggering Rs 104.69 million as determined by a multi-departmental committee. The government stated these assessments were necessary to align with market realities, protect public interest and comply with the law, arguing the original terms were grossly outdated. Despite the hotel making interim payments during these negotiations, no final lease terms were ever sealed. The process hit a fundamental policy roadblock. Officials concluded that the existing provincial lease policy did not permit a further extension for the property, meaning the original agreement had effectively terminated. After the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Culture and Tourism Authorities Board deferred a decision in early 2025, awaiting a broader leasing policy, the hotel management made the decisive move. In December 2025, they formally notified the government of their intentions to hand back the property, culminating in a lawful handover on December 31, 2025. The government now emphasizes that this conclusion paves the way for a new beginning. The authority plans to lease the facility, the land and its 49 rooms and allied facilities afresh through an open, transparent and competitive bidding process. The goal is to ensure optimal use of this public asset, maximize revenue for the province, and strictly adhere to modern legal and policy frameworks based on third-party assessments. Officials anticipate the new lease could generate around 4 million per month, a figure that underscored the vast gap between the old agreement and current market value. While the Serena management's farewell note gratefully acknowledged its guest and role in promoting Swat's tourism, the government of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa clarification paints the closure as the inevitable result of an expired contract and a necessary recalibration to ensure public asset yield fair public value. The end of the Serena era is Swat is thus framed not as an abrupt end but as the final act in a lengthy administrative and legal process, with the government now looking to auction the property to write a new chapter for the historic site.